We are all very grateful and excited and humbled and appreciative to have the poet Nicole Sealey here to read for us tonight. It is a huge deal. Um, she is just, she's one of those writers that can can totally get you on board with anything she might be putting down on the paper, and she gets you there and she breaks your heart, and then you'll want her to do it again. You'll read the poem over and over again because there's just so much glory in between the lines and also in the turns of phrase that she masterfully puts on the page. um, she was born in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, and raised in Apopka, Florida. She is the author of The Animal After Whom Other Animals Are Named, which is the winner of the 2015 Drinking Gourd Chapbook Poetry Prize. Her other honors include an Elizabeth George Foundation grant, the Stanley Kunitz Memorial Prize from the American Poetry Review, a Daniel Varajan Award, and the Poetry International Prize, as well as fellowships from Canto Mundo, Cave Canem, and the Poetry Project. Her work has appeared in Best New Poets, Copper Nickel, Plowshares, Third Coast, and elsewhere. Nicole holds an MLA in Africana Studies from the University of South Florida and an MFA in Creative Writing from New York University. She is the Programs Director at Cave Canem Foundation. Please give a very warm, enthusiastic welcome to Nicole Sealey.
Of violence. You hear the high-pitched yowls of strays fighting for scraps tossed from a kitchen window. They sound like children you might have had you wanted children. Had you a maternal bone, you would wrench it from your belly and fling it from your fire escape, as if it were the stubborn shard now lodged in your wrist. No, you would hide it. Yes, you would hide it inside a barren nesting doll you've had since you were a child. Its smile reminds you of your father who does not smile, nor does he believe you are his. You look just like your mother, he says, who looks just like a fire of suspicious origin. A body I've read can sustain its own sick burning, its own hell for hours. It's the mind that cannot. I want to just briefly say thank you to Jasper Collective and Lost Lit, Grumpy Bert for having me, and all of you for being here tonight. Thank you so much. Medical history. I've been pregnant. I've had sex with a man who's had sex with men. I can't sleep. My mother's mother had asthma. My father had a stroke. My father's mother has high blood pressure. Both grandfathers died from diabetes. I drink. I don't smoke. Xanax for flying, propranolol for anxiety. My eyes are bad. I'm spooked by wind. Cousin Lily died from an aneurysm. Aunt Ilda, a heart attack. Uncle Ken, wise as he was hit by a car as if to disprove whatever theory toward which I write. And I understand the stars in the sky are already dead. Just two more poems. Object permanence. This is for my husband. He's back there. That's him. That was him doing that screaming. Object permanence for John. We wake as if surprised the other is still there, each petting the sheet to be sure. How have we managed our way to this bed, beholden to heat like dawn, indebted to light? Though we're not so self-important as to think everything has led to this, everything has led to this. There's a name for the animal love makes of us. Named, I think, like rain for the sound it makes. You are the animal after whom other animals are named. Until there's none left to laugh. Days will start with the same startle and end with caterpillars gorged on milkweed. Oh, how we entertain the angels with our brief animation. Oh, how I'll miss you when we're dead. Everybody's dying in my poems. I don't know. This is my last poem. The first person who will live to be 150 years old has already been born. This is for my mom. Scientists say the average human life gets 3 months longer every year. By this math, death will be optional, like a tie or dessert or suffering. My mother asks whether I'd want to live forever. I'd get bored, I tell her. But, she says, there's so much to do, meaning she believes there's much she hasn't done. 30 years ago, she was the age I am now, but unlike me, too industrious to think about birds disappeared by rain. If only we had more time or enough money to be kept on ice until such a time science could bring us back. Of late, my mother has begun to think life short-lived. I'm too young to convince her otherwise. The one and only occasion I was in the same room as the Mona Lisa. It was encased in glass behind what I imagine were velvet ropes. There's far less between ourselves and oblivion, skin that often defeats its very purpose. Or maybe its purpose isn't protection at all, but rather to provide a place, similar to a doctor's waiting room, in which to sit until our names are called. Hold your questions until the end, Mother. Measure my wide open arms. We still have this much time to kill. Thank you so much.